Ghostbusters 5 confirmation is a relief. Sony has confirmed that Ghostbusters 5 is officially on the way, and that's a great thing, as Ghostbusters Afterlife deserves a proper movie sequel. Sony is moving forward with the Ghostbusters 5, and that's great news for everyone who enjoyed Ghostbusters Afterlife. Those who fondly remember the first two Ghostbusters movies directed by the late Ivan Reitman had to wait more than 30 years for another direct follow-up featuring the return of the original team. While Paul Feig's 2016 Ghostbusters has its fans and received love from critics, the reboot left no real room for it to be set in the same universe, due to the original cast making cameos as new characters. Directed by Ivan's son, Jason Reitman, who is an accomplished filmmaker in his own right, Ghostbusters Afterlife ended up delayed more than a year due to COVID-19, but thankfully it proved to be worth the wait when it finally did arrive in November 2021. While detractors did accuse Afterlife of drawing too heavily on nostalgia, those who love the film have praised such aspects as the likability of the new cast members and the respectful way in which the classic team was used. There was also a nice tribute included to the late Harold Ramis, even if it went a little too far in changing the Egon Spengler character. Ghostbusters Afterlife was a decent-sized box office success, and naturally, there were almost immediate rumblings of a possible follow-up. It took a while, but Sony has finally allowed Afterlife's proponents to breathe a sigh of relief, as Ghostbusters 5 is on the way. Details on the story, cast, and crew aren't yet available, but considering it hasn't even been a year since Afterlife was released, the smart money says Sony plans to strike while the iron is hot and make a proper sequel. Afterlife smartly left many doors open for a potential continuation as well as further development of its new characters, and now that looks to be happening. With Winston, Ernie Hudson, now a rich businessman who owns the old Ghostbusters firehouse, and Peter, Bill Murray, and Ray, Dan Aykroyd, showing a willingness to strap their proton packs back on if duty calls, there are clear opportunities to make use of the classic cast again. Winston could serve as boss to a new Ghostbusters team, with Peter and Ray being sort of player-coach types, or perhaps purely mentors to the young squad. And said squad could provide an easy basis for the return of Egon's granddaughter Phoebe, McKenna Grace, and grandson Trevor, Finn Wolfhard, plus their friends podcast, Logan Kim, and Lucky, Celeste O'Connor, as well as Paul Rudd's Mr. Gruberson. Gruberson idolizes the Ghostbusters, and after his experiences in Afterlife, he would surely jump at the chance to suit up as a proper hunter and trapper of ghosts. As for the kids, they could be made Ghostbusters in training, perhaps leading to a conflict over just how much responsibility they should be able to handle at such a young age. There's also still precious little known about Egon's family life before he took off to protect humanity from Gozer, or what Winston, Ray, and Peter got up to in the decades after battling Vigo and Ghostbusters 2. So much narrative territory is available to explore that it would have been almost criminal to not continue Afterlife's story with the Ghostbusters 5. Jurassic World 3 image shows new look at Neill, Dern, and Goldblum. A new Jurassic World Dominion image reveals another look at the return of the original Jurassic Park trio, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. Releasing in theaters on June 10th, Dominion is the 6th overall installment in the franchise that began back in 1993 with Steven Spielberg's modern classic Jurassic Park and the third film in the Jurassic World trilogy, which revived the series in 2015. The upcoming threequel is set to reunite the original trio from the first film, Neill, Dern, and Goldblum, who will join Jurassic World leads Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. Picking up 4 years after Fallen Kingdom's Lockwood Estate incident saw herds of dinosaurs released from captivity and freely roaming the mainland, Dominion finds humans coexisting with the creatures as humans struggle to remain the planet's apex predators. Returning cast members also include Daniela Pineda, Isabella Sermon, Justice Smith, Omar Sy, and B.D. Wong. Newcomer DeWanda Wise stars as a former Air Force pilot who assists the main characters on their dangerous mission. Now, a new look at Neill, Dern, and Goldblum in Jurassic World Dominion is here. An image courtesy of Vanity Fair shows the returning trio, Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm, in a control room appearing visibly displeased alongside Howard's Claire Dearing and Wise's new character, Kayla Watts. This is just one of many looks at the original trio together again in Dominion, which should continue to build hype for their return in the new Jurassic World movie. Each character has returned throughout the saga in various ways over the years, though they haven't appeared together since 1993's Jurassic Park. Goldblum's Dr. Malcolm returned as the lead in the 1997 sequel, The Lost World, and made a cameo appearance in 2018's Fallen Kingdom during the hearing. Neill's Dr. Grant and Dern's Dr. Sattler haven't appeared since 2001's Jurassic Park 3. The new image highlights only a portion of Dominion's immense cast, which should be slightly worrisome for fans. With so many old and new characters returning, the threequel runs the risk of being overstuffed, and it will be difficult for director Colin Trevorrow and his fellow writers to provide each one of them with a complete and satisfying arc. This is something that Spider-Man: No Way Home managed to pull off, though it will surely be difficult to replicate. If nothing else, Jurassic World: Dominion should be able to ride its nostalgia factor and Dino-fueled fun to a financially successful conclusion to the trilogy. The bad guys' main animal characters cause two major plot holes. Although the bad guys' animal characters were vital to the movie's story and message, they also created two major plot holes. The latest animated feature from DreamWorks Animation, the bad guys centers on a group of animal outlaws who get caught after trying to pull off an impossible heist. To avoid prison, the thieves pretend to learn how to be good, but tensions rise within the group when their leader begins to want to actually become good. The titular bad guys crew consists of animals that are usually portrayed as villains in stories: Mr. Snake, Mr. Shark, Miss Tarantula, Mr. Piranha, and their leader, Mr. Wolf. These criminal characters all being animals is important to the bad guys' plot and theme, since the group believes they could never be accepted by society due to storytelling cliches defining their species as villains. However, other animal characters show the bad guys that they don't have to fulfill their stereotypical roles. For example, the sly fox Diane Foxington used to be a skilled thief, but she decided she didn't want to adhere to those expectations and became a civil servant instead. Also, the seemingly sweet Professor Marmalade is a guinea pig, which makes him inherently good according to Mr. Snake, yet he turns out to be an evil mastermind who frames the bad guys. With themes about not believing stereotypes and being able to choose one's own path, the bad guys' main characters being animals is crucial. Expectations about their species inform their roles within the story, which they are later able to contradict. However, the animal characters do raise some questions about the bad guys' world building. The first major plot hole in the bad guys is that there are so few other anthropomorphic animals seen in the movie, which is otherwise populated by humans. The second major plot hole is the lack of explanation for why the sea animal characters can function and survive on land. While their species live underwater, Mr. Shark and Mr. Piranha have legs to walk on and have no problem breathing air. Regarding both plot holes, there is an inconsistency with specific animals being depicted in two different forms. The movie features an entire army of mind-controlled guinea pigs, which are otherwise normal, non-anthropomorphic creatures, but never explains how the bad guy's character Professor Marmalade can also be a guinea pig, yet he talks, walks on two legs, wears clothes, and is a member of society. Meanwhile, the movie's humans include such significant the bad guys' characters as Police Chief Misty Luggins and news reporter Tiffany Fluffett, as well as all of the background players. Neither the logic of this mix nor its imbalance makes sense. It's odd there are only 7 anthropomorphic animals in the Los Angeles of the bad guys universe, one of which is the city's most beloved philanthropist while another was elected governor by the human populace. While based on Aaron Blabey's popular series of children's graphic novel books, the source material is no help in clearing up the bad guys movie's plot holes. All of the characters in the bad guys books are anthropomorphic animals or insect-like aliens. Even Tiffany Fluffett is a cat in the books, while Misty Luggins has no counterpart because she was created specifically for the movie. Also, not that this means anything to the discrepancy with the guinea pigs in the screen adaptation, in the books, Professor Marmalade turns out to be an alien disguised as a guinea pig person. With such massive changes from the books, the movie ought to have explained its characters and their universe better to avoid such glaring plot holes. Given its box office success, The Bad Guys is likely to receive a sequel, and when it does, The Bad Guys 2 should straighten out its plot holes by defining this world and how these animal characters evolve to live among humans. Ms. Marvel prepares to wear superhero mask in new MCU show image. In a brand new image from the upcoming MCU series, Ms. Marvel prepares to wear her new superhero mask. Iman Vellani stars as Kamala Khan, a Pakistani-American teenager living in Jersey City who moonlights as the new Ms. Marvel. As opposed to the source material in which Kamala gets her powers, the Terrigen Mist unlock her inhuman genes, the new Disney Plus show has revealed that the hero's abilities will stem from a set of mysterious magical bangles with the power to harness cosmic energy. Vellani is joined by Matt Lintz as Bruno Corelli, her best friend and sidekick during her initial days as she discovers her newfound powers. Aramis Knight will play Kareem, also known as the Vigilante the Red Dagger, a masked hero who protects the people of Karachi, Pakistan. Rounding out the cast is Yasmin Fletcher as Nakia, Sagar Sheikh as Amir, Zenobia Shroff as her mother Maniba Khan, and Mohan Kapoor as Yusuf Khan, Kamala's father. Set to premiere in June, Vellani is excited to show Ms. Marvel to the world her character, but has also admitted to finding it weird to watch herself on screen. In the meantime, Marvel continues to ramp up marketing. Total Film has released a new image from the upcoming MCU series Ms. Marvel, which shows the Kamala preparing to don her new superhero mask. In the image, Kamala wears a traditional Pakistani dress while stares at the mask in anticipation as she holds a slight smile hinting at her excitement. As with most superhero origin stories, the hero is faced with the choice of becoming the hero everybody needs or rejecting the responsibility for a life more ordinary. In the above image, Kamala, a self-professed Avengers superfan, appears to fully embrace her calling as the hero of Jersey City. The official Ms. Marvel trailer has previously shown Kamala's excitement as she imagines herself protecting citizens while being praised for heroic actions, and later proudly proclaims that she is a superhero. When the original Ms. Marvel comic series was released in 2014, she was a huge hit with critics and readers alike. Kamala's youth, coupled with her struggles to fight crime while trying to meet homework deadlines, have made her a new generation Spider-Man. President of Marvel Studios Kevin Feige has previously stated that he has big MCU plans for the hero. She is already slated to appear in her first team-up film with Captain Marvel and the Marvels, 2023. Before she can step onto the big screen along her Avengers co-star, the fledgling hero must first define herself on Ms. Marvel.